Okay, today I'm showing a prediction of vortex vertical to vortex horizontal back to vortex vertical, which is all wave movement. It is a vortex to wave to vortex to wave, because that is how all energy travels. I wrote the paper that you see on there on the 20th of February 2016, but I have been showing this exact same method of travel for the past 2 years. Vortex to halo wave and back to vortex, which is a rolling wave. So on the right I have your simple wave and a pulse wave. The pulse wave is two waves, one behind each other, but a simple wave at the top will travel as the pulse wave moving through it, which is what we have on the right hand side here. So I'm going to spin this around and place it so you can see what's happening with what's happening on screen. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to put up where the vortexes and the waves are. Okay, now the one at the top with all the little arrows on it at the top of the screen, I showed that the other day. That is what is causing the X-flare there. That is the mode of travel right there. We zoomed in on my last video to show that that is what is happening. Halo waves to a vortex out. And it goes vortex, halo wave, vortex, halo wave. Then as it leaves the sun, the practicality of the electrical field changes. So it goes back to large vortex, large wave. Now if you're watching what's happening on the screen, you will see I've written vortex, vortex and vortex and clockwise out. And then on the right hand side I've written wave and wave. Well, that is where the vortex is, that is where the wave is, and that is where the vortex is, and that is where the wave is. So let's watch it go through. So we have vortex, wave, vortex, wave, vortex. And it gets bigger and further away as it goes out, because that's the fractal nature of electromagnetic field bands. Each one is a power of 10 as it leaves. So we get wave, vortex, wave, vortex. And as you can see, it's traveling clockwise if we were facing Earth from the sun. It looks counterclockwise here, because it is, but if you were looking from the sun, it would be clockwise. So you have a vortex with a counterclockwise and a clockwise rotation, 2 leaders, and they are both spinning clockwise. I've drawn the method of travel where they cross over, pass through each other, become interlinking waves, and then the wave is crushed out of the back, spins over the top, following the wave into another vortex, crosses each other again, goes into another rolling wave exactly like the sea, and then back to a vortex. So there might be a couple of people out there who have said to me already, but Lee, you keep showing different ways of travel. You keep saying this is how energy travels and this is how energy travels. Aren't you being a little, contradictive? And it's like, no. See, I've drawn all the modes of travel over the past 2 years. And now, again, everything is being proven, but it's always been a vortex, a double helix vortex that would change into a halo wave from the beginning. It's just different fractal sizes. So the video I showed the other day showed that it's the EM field on the sun, those are the halo waves, because electricity and electromagnetism are the same thing. Electricity is going through the middle, electromagnetism comes out perpendicular to the original flow. That's how it works. That's why they're intrinsically linked. And so this one changes then into a vortex to a rolling wave, rather than an electromagnetic field to lightning, because that's what's happening. It's just the concentration of power. So you have an electromagnetic field and lightning, and then the wave gets wider, and so it loses. It doesn't lose power, but the power is now spreading out, so it loses luminosity because the matter is being stretched. As you can see, the wave gets bigger as it heads out. It's still illuminated, but it's losing luminosity because the wire that is giving the luminosity is now stretching into a wave and a vortex, rather than being an extremely tight vortex, which is a lightning bolt. So yeah, got to show me every method of travel. I have put up every method of travel, and I've said this is how energy moves. So even though people think I'm explaining different ways of travel, no, it's either vortex to wave or wave to vortex. Coming out of the sun there, it is electromagnetic wave shooting up and becoming a vortex, which is what gives the X-flare. That is suddenly a massive lightning strike connected to an EM field, and then it changes rotations, and we see the wave. First wave is lit up like a lightning bolt anyway, right there. But it's always vortex to a perpendicular wave. It never changes. It's always vortex, perpendicular change to a wave, perpendicular change back to a vortex, and it never changes. It's the only way energy moves, because that's how the EM field is constructed, and it's the only way matter moves, because energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, and energy moves matter. None of this is mine. God showed it to me in visions in May 2014 for 3 weeks, non-stop, night and day, didn't sleep for 9 days. I am the small scroll from Revelation, and how energy travels is what is in the small scroll, which is why it's a small scroll. I have explained how the whole universe moves and rotates, everything organic and inorganic, on Earth, in the sea, in the earth, in outer space, in astrophysics. It is vortex to horizontal wave, or horizontal halo wave, which is an EM field offshoot. None of this is mine. God gave it to me, and now I'm explaining it to you. So there we go, another prediction proven. And I proved it because it's in cigarette smoke, because cigarette smoke is a radiation fire, and so follows radiation travel, which is vortex to halo wave, which is electromagnetism, which becomes a rail gun, which is why cigarettes act like a railgun, which is why all sun flares act like a railgun. So if I can extrapolate from a cigarette how the sun works, because I understand energy travel, and what I've shown is correct, then everything I've shown is correct. Thanks very much. My name is Lee, and I'm a Christian.